Hello there. Welcome to Best Makeup of 2024. It's really hard to believe that here we are sitting by my little tree doing this kind of video again. It does not seem possible that it's been a whole year, but literally after trying hundreds of makeup products, I am here again and I'm going to share with you my top 25 makeup products of 2024. Now, this was really hard for me. In previous videos like this, I've gone through and shared with you everything that I really loved for that year, and it was a lot. And I know I get overwhelmed when I just have this whole list of 50, 100 products to filter through. So I wanted to really make myself this year dial it down. I was trying to make it to 20, but I just couldn't do it. So we've got 25 products and I allowed myself freedom. There's more lip products than there are cheek products. So I didn't say I had to have 3 or 5 in each category, but I'm going to go through each category, give you my top favorites for the year. And then there are a couple of honorable mentions and I'll tell you why I did that for each one. But for the most part, it's because maybe I just discovered them in December and I decided to disqualify those products because I really feel like I needed more testing time to really say they're the best of the best for the whole year if I've only tested them out for a couple of weeks. So ready, set, go. Check the description box down below for links and a list of everything. Now let's start off with the category of lips because that is the largest category this year. Starting off with my favorite lip prep product that I found this year, it is from Ole Henriksen. It is the Pout Preserve Lip Treatment, Peptide Lip Treatment. And I specifically love this scent, which is strawberry or the creme brulee. Those are my two favorites, but I also have the orange one and it's pretty good as well. But this provides a great amount of moisture to the lips. It also oddly plumps the lips without you feeling like anything's happening. There's no pepperminty tingle, nothing painful or anything. You don't even know it until you wipe it off to put on your lipstick and your lips are hydrated and they look plump. Next, going on to lip liner. The main lip liner, I do have one honorable mention, but I think the best liner that came out this year, a new one, was from Maybelline. These are called the Lifter liners, and I now have, I think, 4 shades. These two are my favorites, especially the one I'm wearing now. This one is Big O. I love this shade. The formulation, these lip liners are so budge proof. I'm putting swatches here on my hand, and if I don't wipe them off right away, they are going to be staying here forever. They're so long wearing, creamy, and yet I don't feel like I'm going through the pencil super fast. So creamy, long wearing, you can use these all over your lips and then add gloss or a lipstick. They keep your lipstick, your lip product from bleeding. Really highly recommend these. Now the honorable mention comes from Makeup Forever. They redid their lip liners. So if you're familiar, they have the artist color pencils, which are supposed to be able to be used on your eyes or your lips or anywhere on your face, your brows, whatever. Well, then they created the Artist Color Pencil Extreme, specifically for your lips, and they made it waterproof. The previous version, the Artist Color Pencils were not waterproof. Now they do have another Aqua Lip Pencil. Those are great as well, but I think they're fading those out. So this one in Wherever Walnut, the very popular shade of their Artist Color Pencil, they made it specifically for the lips, and I love the shade, love the formula. Again, super long wearing, but because I only have, I think I have 2 of these, I didn't put this in the top category. So that's why it's just an honorable mention. This year was the year for lip oils. Oh my goodness. And we're still seeing new ones come out. So I don't think we've seen the end of the lip oil trend, but by far, the best all-around lip oil product was this one from Dalton, and this is the Peptide Plump Lip Oil. This is in the shade Juicy Nude, and it is in one of those click-up style applicators. And I personally love that because I feel like it allows you to control how much you're getting, but these come in a variety of shades and they do have quite a bit of pigment and color. They have a beautiful amount of shine. But what is so amazing is these, they feel lightweight on the lips, but they don't slip right off. They hang around for a long time. And I have been playing around with a couple of different products to see which ones really give a boost of moisture, because my lips went through a very dry spell and I could not get moisture back in. I put this on, and this and one other product, and those two just immediately, my lips felt soft. And again, the color, the shine, everything hung around for a long time. This has actually been added to my little pink box. I'll share with you in a moment the lipstick that was replaced, but this has been added now into my first little pink box with Dalton. That is how much I love this product. So the other great thing is it smells like candy canes. It has a little bit of a cooling sensation, but nothing stingy or painful. Highly recommend. Now, the lipstick that I was referring to that the Peptide Plump Lip Oil replaced in my little pink box is this one. So Dalton allowed me to compile 2 little pink boxes this year, and they're still available on their website. So if you haven't picked them up, I'll link them down below. But in my first box, my first lip choice for the box was this lipstick. And last I checked, now this is now only available in a lipstick trio. So they came to me and said, Shirley, we can't offer it anymore in your box. We're running out of supply, but if you want to pick something else to replace it. So I did the Peptide Plump. But this was my first choice. This shade in particular, Coffee Talk. And I have heard from so many of you with cool undertones, warm undertones, and you have said this color just looks so good on you. It smells like a sweet kind of dessert. It tastes like kind of sweet sugar on your lips. And this color, even though it's super creamy, it lasts so well on the lips. So if you can still get your hands on this shade in particular, the other 2 in that trio are great, but this shade in particular, if you can still get it, definitely pick it up. Moving into kind of more gloss category, but it's still a stick form. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Stick. This was a new line that came out this year, and this by far, Blazed Donut, is my favorite. I also picked up the other lighter shade, but this has been the one that has made my go-to. This is actually what I'm wearing on my lips today. And by the way, I did film a whole tutorial on this look. That will be coming out soon. But this is the shade Blazed Donut, and there is just something special. Again, I feel like this year we saw a lot of tinted balms come out, tinted lip balms. And a lot of them are super sheer. These have a lot of color, a lot of gloss, but they don't just slide off your lips. They are a really great formula, and they smell kind of like her Gloss Bomb glosses. So if you're familiar, the Luminizer glosses, I think is what they're called. This smells very similar, and it has that shine, no shimmer, but a lot more color. And I just really have loved this shade in particular. Now, as far as other glosses goes, early this year, I rediscovered the Anastasia Beverly Hills glosses. They repackaged them. Maybe that was part of what attracted me to them, but then they came out with a bunch of new shimmery shades like this one, Pink Ginger. And I kept going back for more. I think I have about 5 or 6 of these glosses now. So I had to include this in my year-end favorites. And this formula is definitely not sticky, but yet it still provides quite a bit of good wear time. And I have one of the cream colors in the pink, but I preferred the frosty ones because I love to wear these over a lipstick or when paired with a lip liner, and it just really gives a nice bit of shine. And by the way, I'm hearing 2025 trend, we might have frosty lips. And this is, I think, a flattering way to do it. The other gloss is similar in the fact that it has a really nice high frost. It is the Lawless Forget the Filler lip gloss. Now, I have a couple of these in other shades and they've been fine, but I have not loved one like I love this shade Candy Sky. I think they released 3 new shades at this time. And this is just the perfect, if you like to just pop a little bit of gloss in the center of your lips and have it really just attract the light, this is what this does. And this gloss is beautiful all on its own, just with a little bit of a lip liner. The only thing with these is you've got to be careful. They can get gloppy fast. So just apply a little bit and you'll be happy. But that's why I think I love this also, is you don't have to apply a lot of it. to get to make a big impact on the lips. So forget the filler, Lawless, Candy Sky. Honorable mention, blown away by the Revie Beauty Lip Renewal Treatment Oil. I'll be honest, when I saw this was released, I did not purchase it right away because I feel like we've had a lot of treatment oils and lip oils, and I thought, how is this any different? How is it any better? It's clear. I'm not gonna buy it. They graciously sent it to me in PR, and holy smokes, on a day when my lips were crusty and dry, I put this on and went and walked my dog. By the time I got home, I felt like I had a new set of lips. I kid you not. I could not believe what an amazing difference this made. It's glossy and it smells just a very light hint of vanilla, but the treatment aspect of this, if you suffer from really dry lips, this is totally worth your money. I am so impressed. And again, you're going to be seeing a lot of this in 2025, but because it's so new, just an honorable mention here, but love it. Okay, I told you those lip liners would still be here. They're just going to stay on my hands. It's okay. All right, we're moving on to eyes now. Starting off with the Ulta Beauty Matte Veil Long Wear Eye Primer. This is so good. It looks like it has a hint of a tint to it, but basically it comes off almost clear on your eyelids. I have been so impressed. If you have oily eyelids and you struggle to get your eyeshadow to stay in place, this is one you definitely need to try. It's at a really affordable price, and I've already bought a backup, so love that. Next is a new cream eyeshadow stick that, wow, caught me by surprise. It's the L'Oreal Le Color eyeshadow, and this particular color, Twinkly Rose, I just have not been able to put down. It is almost like a champagne type of color. It's very neutral, so don't let that rose kind of part of it scare you, but these pencils are the lightest glide ever. I mean, no tugging, no pulling, nothing like that. They're actually really cooling when you initially put them on your lids, and these things dry down and stay put all day long. I love to use this as a base for a lighter eyeshadow on the lid. I've also bought a couple now of the brown tones, so you'll be seeing more colors, but this one in particular I have just been using on repeat. And then the other cream shadow that really just surprised me how much I loved this, and I went back and now I think I own 5 or 6 shades now, is the RMS Eye Lights Cream Eyeshadows. And these two colors are my favorite, but I also have a beautiful olive green. I just bought a chocolate mousse color, so you're going to be seeing these a lot, but I used this one today all over my lid, and these are amazing. Again, if you struggle to get a cream shadow, a shimmery shadow to stay on your lids, if you have hooded eyes and you find that by the end of the day you're missing your eyeshadow, try these. These dry down and they set and will not budge. That's why I am actually not going to swatch these on the back of my hand, but I do show this in the tutorial. So this shade, Moonlust, I purchased maybe about 2 months ago, and I can't put it down. This was my first one. This is Halo. It's pink. You know, I love pink. So this was the first one that just sold me on these. And they come with this little kind of metal turn so you can keep, you know, rolling the product down. You do get a ton of product in here. So they're a little pricey, but you do get a lot of product for the money. So definitely I feel like it's going to be worth it because I use them all the time and they do not budge throughout the day. Now I'm going to jump into eyebrow products and then we'll go back to eyeshadow palettes. So for eyebrow products, the top recommended love of this year is the CoverGirl Nano Brow Pencil. I particularly love the shade Blonde. It's what I used in my brows today. The tip on this is ultra fine, but as long as you don't roll the pencil up too far, this will not break off. I have heard from several other brands of their nano brow pencils that they just continue to break off. And I mean, you go through these pencils rather quickly as it is. So you definitely don't want it to be breaking off on you. And this one is just so easy to use. You can get those hair-like strokes. and it sets and stays all day. Now I have two honorable mention brow products. The first one is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. This has been my other go-to this year since May. And the reason why I didn't put it in my favorites, because I like these videos to be my products, my new products that I tried this year. And I've actually tried this in years past and I liked it, but I didn't repurchase it. And then when I was back in Oklahoma with my dad, we were going through my mom's stuff and through her makeup, and this was her all-time favorite. She repurchased this particular one all the time, and she had one, an extra one there. And so I took it home because I thought the color 3.5 might actually work for me, and I fell in love with it. I thought, why have I not been using this pencil? So it was my mom's favorite. It was her easiest one to put on. And let me tell you, my mom's brows, she would not answer the door. She would not see anyone without brows. Brows were her top priority, and this was her top pencil. So that's why this gets honorable mention, even though it's not a new product to me. It was a rediscovery this year, and I love it. The other honorable mention I'll put in here is the Precisely My Brow Wax from Benefit. This was new this year, and I believe I have the shade, let's see, what is it, 2.5. This is a fantastic product. Now, I don't use it every day, but I pull this out, especially if I'm going to the salon and I want my brows to be glued on and glued in place. I will use the Benefit My Brow pencil because this is waterproof, and then I'll go in with this wax. My brows will be on there even hours later after my wet hair has been on it. This is waterproof. It does provide a little bit of extra fullness to the brows, so I do love it, but I don't use it every day. So that's why it kind of went into the honorable mention. Now for eyeshadow palettes, you know eyeshadow palettes are my number one favorite makeup item. And this year, surprisingly, there weren't tons of options. I don't know, there were several Natasha Denona releases that I liked but didn't love, and some that I was disappointed with of other brands. But I did find three that I absolutely loved. The first one was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam 2 palette. Now this was not new this year, but it was new to me. And I had used and enjoyed the regular Soft Glam palette that is the full, what is it, 16 or 14 shadows. And so when I first saw this, I thought it was just a version of that, like those same shadows, just reduced to 8 shadows. But no, some of these shadows are repeats from that palette, but some are specific to this palette. And I love this palette. This became my go-to when I was in a hurry and I had no time whatsoever. I needed a no-brainer eye look. This is the palette I used. I traveled with this summer and last spring. It's just so versatile with only 8 shadows. I absolutely have enjoyed this. These 2 shades right here I have on my inner corner. That's it from this palette today. But overall, absolutely have enjoyed having that in my collection. The second one came out this fall, and I was just thrilled because I felt like the last couple of years, the Too Faced fall eyeshadow palette release was a little bit of a bummer. And last year, their fall and I think even holiday ones were in that cardboard packaging. But this year, they came out with the Apple-ian Love palette in the tin packaging. Not only is the packaging just so cute and reeled me back in, but the color story inside, I was like, finally, we don't have an all brown palette with one blue eyeshadow or something crazy like this. This is such a versatile palette. I so enjoyed this. And I feel like even though this was a fall release, and I'm definitely using it now, this is a color story that I will use year round. The bright greens I think are going to be really fun in the spring. We have a variety of shimmers, but it's not overtaken by shimmers. We have more mattes than shimmers, and it does have a really soft, subtle, like caramel apple scent, but it's very light. But overall, I felt like with this palette, Too Faced was back. So love that. And then the third palette, this is the final release from Huda Beauty, the Icy Nude palette. The packaging's gorgeous, but this color story, even though I tend to veer more towards warm shadows myself, I felt like for an Icy Nude palette, I have gotten so much use out of this palette, and it's because we have kind of this shade right here that can warm up any of these other shades. And then we have just this beautiful kind of burgundy color, the plummy brown. So the whole thing is not just grays and blue grays, but we do have a lot of cooler tones in here. The only shadow I do not like, and I probably will never wear, is this one right here. It's just chunky, gritty glitter. But the rest of them I have really enjoyed, and since this was her last palette, I definitely wanted to pick it up, and I'm not disappointed at all. In fact, it's my top favorite. It went over the Natasha Denona Warm palette and Gold palette. This was my favorite. Now, honorable mention, because this was just released this month, but the Alter Ego Sundown palette. Now, Alter Ego came out with a couple of other palettes. You'll be seeing them soon this year that were great, but this one just stole my heart right away. I dug into this and I used it like 3 days in a row because of mainly this shadow right here. Kind of reminds me of a Natasha Denona palette that I have and love, but this shadow, and actually all of the shadows in here, I feel like Alter Ego has continued to improve their formula. Look at this shadow. Okay, can you see that it goes from green to pink? There's a little bit of orange. I love this. And I had the looks that I did with this, I mean, they stayed true, vibrant all day long. And the mattes and everything were not powdery like I've had in some of their previous ones. So this is a fantastic new palette. But again, because it's new, it's just an honorable mention. Moving on to foundation, my top favorite, the one I used the most, highly recommended. I did test this out at the end of last year, but I didn't talk about it because it went into my Dalton little pink box. It is the Doll Skin Genius Serum Skin Tint with Reishi Mushroom. I'm wearing this today. I've worn it all year long. My sister-in-law in humidity loved it. I loved it on my combo skin in the hot summer. It's just been such a surprise. It has great coverage, but feels like you're wearing nothing on your face. And as long as you apply it in a sheer manner, don't, pack it on, it looks like your skin, but better. So I have absolutely loved this. Love all the ingredients in it. So my top favorite was this. Now, honorable mention goes to the new TCE foundation from Dalton. The packaging, not only is this like just the coolest thing ever, pink with the pump on it and the glass bottle, but this is wow coverage. I mean, wow coverage. It feels super light on the skin. It looks a little bit more like makeup on the skin than the Reishi Mushroom does, but I have been loving this. But again, I didn't start testing this out until this month. So it's just honorable mention, but you're going to be seeing a lot of this. Now, along with lip oils this year, I feel like this was the year of skin tints. Oh my goodness. Everywhere we're seeing skin tints pop up, and I feel like that phrase, that title had a broad description. So it used to be skin tints were like just a hint of coverage, but I have two skin tints here that blew me away that actually provide coverage but were long wearing. The first one at the drugstore, the Maybelline Super Stay 24-hour skin tint. Now, I've not worn it for 24 hours, but I have worn these for long days, and on my combo skin, these wear so well, provides really good coverage. I did switch out the dropper because I hated the dropper, but I found these pumps on Amazon. I'll link them down below with this skin tint, but I have been so surprised. Took me a while to try this because I didn't think I would love it, and I do. And of course, at the drugstore, it's a little less priced than some of the higher end ones, but the higher end choice is just a little more expensive, but not much. And it's the Sephora Reveal the Real. I think I've only heard one other person talk about this. I feel like this is an underrated, like under the radar hit. So this is also very long wearing. It does come in a plastic squeeze bottle, which actually I really like. It allows you to really control how much you're getting out. It's real lightweight, great for travel. And I feel like the shade range may be where this has struggled, because my best friend was saying she was struggling to find one that didn't have a yellow undertone. Me personally, who is a yellow undertone girl, was rejoicing because I found it to be really easy to find. So you may struggle to find your perfect match with this one, but if you find a good match, highly recommend. I think it is fabulous. For concealer, I have two and one honorable mention. The first one is the Dalton. This is the Skin Genius Serum Skin Concealer with Reishi Mushroom. Dalton released this summer, and I was privileged to be able to put this in my second Dalton box. Again, I'll link that box down below if you'd rather get a whole compilation of products and not just this one. But this concealer just totally surprised me. It not only is hydrating under the eyes, provides amazing coverage, but it does not crease and get dry and crackly like your typical concealer. And I have found with the shade in particular, medium, I don't need color corrector. Now, as we're going into winter, I've started adding in a little bit of light, like right here, and blend that in, and it lasts all day. The coverage is great. It's hydrating, really good ingredients. So my top new favorite concealer. But before that was the Tarte, and this is the Creaseless Creamy Concealer. Now, Tarte has so many different versions of concealer, it's easy to get them confused. This is the Creamy Creaseless, and this one is my second, I think, most recommended, even above now the Natasha Denona concealer. You know, last year that was my favorite. This one, hydrating, great coverage, very thin consistency. I do feel like I have to set this one with more powder than the Reishi Mushroom one. So the Reishi Mushroom one, you can actually get away with not setting it if you wish, and it won't crease on you and kind of disappear through the day. This one you do have to set a little more, but it is a really fantastic formula, hydrating, great coverage, and super thin. The honorable mention, again, because I just started trying this out in December, is the new Dalton TCE Concealer. Wow, again, wow on the coverage. This is high coverage. It creases a little more on me than the Reishi Mushroom one because I feel like that one's a little thinner consistency, but if you get this kind of blended out and then set it with a little powder, it lasts all day and a little more coverage, I would say, than the Reishi Mushroom one. So if you need like the fullest coverage, you may try this one. But again, because it's only been a month and I'm still testing it out with different powders and things, not quite into the top 25, but honorable mention. Let's go to cheeks, and I'm gonna start off with highlighter because I only have one. What? I know. Sephora Collection, these were new this year, and these are amazing. The formulation on these highlighters, it feels like it should be a cream, but it's a powder, and it is just, it gives your skin a wet glow. I mean, high shine for sure, but no chunky glitter. This shade in particular, Sparkling Honey, is my favorite. I think there's 4 shades, but so impressed with this formula. Love the packaging, super slim, great for travel. Moving into contour and bronzer, number 1, contour. I'm gonna start with the one that I'm wearing now, and it is the LA Girl Contour Wand. I've not heard anybody else talk about this. This is fantastic, and it's under $10. You get a ton of product. It is in one of those squeezy tubes, but this one has actually a twist, so I feel like it stays cleaner. But this is such a great product, and it is a cooler tone than the Milani ones like this. It's also cheaper, and it's cheaper than the e.l.f. ones. And the e.l.f. ones, those have separated on me in my drawers. I don't know if any of you have had that happen, but this has stayed kind of all mixed together, and it does come in 3 shades. I believe I have the lightest shade. I'll list my shade down below, but I have been so impressed. It blends out easily, and again, at a bargain price. The next contour that I have really been loving as well is the Too Faced Contour Stick, and this is the shade Chocolate Mousse, which ironically, it's next year's color of the year. And there is a hint of that wonderful cocoa scent, just a hint. It's not fakey or anything, but I personally love that they did that. But this tone and the formula, again, another one that's really easy to work with. I'll swatch the LA Girl color one as well, but super easy to blend. This comes, I think, in 5 shades. And I just have loved this. This has worked for me in the summer with my super tan skin, and it's still working for me now with my lighter toned skin. And here is the LA Girl one. The tone is almost like identical, just a different formulation. So this one's more liquidy. The Too Faced one is more of a cream, but they both blend in very easily. Don't lift your foundation underneath. Great products. The one bronzer that made it into this video, and it better because it was also in my little pink box. The second one is the Dalton Serum Bronzer. It's called Endless Summer. I've almost hit pan. I keep waiting to see that pan up here. This is fantastic. And it is a warmer color, but I've been able to just put this on the tops of the cheeks, and it provides enough shaping to the face when I'm in a super big hurry. This is all I use. And again, I mean, this one, blends in so effortlessly. Literally a few taps with my favorite brush that comes in that box, and it's blended into your skin. I think the formulation on this is fantastic. It's not sticky. It doesn't stay like shiny or anything, doesn't add any oil. But again, because it's Dalton, it's formulated with great ingredients, and I just love it. All right, we're down to just blush. I'm gonna start off with my honorable mention because this blush line came out earlier in the year, but this particular color I just got, I think last week, and it is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blushes. Now this is a great formula, but I didn't really fall in love with the earlier shades, but they just came out with this shade Bold Face Lilac, and I really feel like this is a unique color that works even for somebody like me who has warm undertones. And you only need a tiny bit of product. Use it from the back of your hand, then tap it on your cheeks. I shared this, showed it in 2 of the looks with the Roxa palette, so I'll link that video down below. But I wanted to mention it here, even though it's new, like brand new to me. It's getting the honorable mention, but I definitely think it is worth checking out. All right, now for the final 2 products. First of all, the Caloray Blurry Blushes. I purchased one of these before the Sephora sale, and then I went during the Sephora sale and purchased another color. So my first one that I picked up was called Dope, and then I picked up Zen. These are the longest wearing blushes I own, powder or cream combined. And I don't know what they put in this formula. It's a clean beauty brand, but this formulation, oh my goodness, another thing that will not come off. Unless you use oil, like an oil makeup remover, but you do have time to blend it. Again, something that's super pigmented. You don't need a lot. You want to work from the back of your hand, then apply to your cheeks. But this formula, it not only is it long wearing, but it sets down and it does blur. It provides a blurring effect on the cheeks. So if you have texture, if you have large pores on your cheeks and you struggle, you want kind of a cream formula, something that's going to wear well, check these out. They wear well, they blur your pores and texture, and they're just such a unique formula. There is nothing else like it on the market yet right now. Love these. I really tried to work fast to get that off, and there's still some blush there. It's okay. I wanted to clear off my hand for the final blush product because these are gorgeous. These are from Ravi Beauty. This was her other kind of new product she released this year. I purchased all 3 shades when I saw them come out, and I knew pretty much, I had a pretty good idea I was going to love these, but I didn't know how much until I got them. The packaging is really luxe. I mean, you don't think that because it's just clear, but it has a nice weight to it. Now, these are similar to the Laura Geller baked blushes, but there's something extra creamy about this formulation. So same thing, they're Italian baked blushes. They are made in Italy. They have beautiful just swirls of colors, but the 3 shades that she came out with, I thought were brilliant to start with. So we have this one, which is Daydream, which was instantly my favorite because these came out kind of late summer, and this became the first one that I used. Now you see that first swatch is pretty light, but these are so buildable that even if you have super deep skin, you're going to be able to make any of these work. but because they're buildable, you don't have to be afraid of them if you have super light, fair skin. So I thought she did a great job of formulating these, and there's no powder whatsoever. So Daydream, what I used today is actually this one, which is Paradise. And this is for those of you who love a cool tone pink, but you struggle to find one that doesn't turn orange on you. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. I was worried this one was gonna look ashy on me, but it warms up nicely. And I mean, that is the only blush product I have on. I just built it up on my cheeks and I absolutely love it. The other one that I do have to use a little bit lighter of a hand, but still I don't have to be scared of, is this one, which is Oasis. Look how gorgeous that is. This one, let's see, let me swatch this over here because I've got lip liners over there. So you can see if I go in full on, there's a lot of color there, but I can blend it and diffuse it out. If you go in with a fluffy brush with this one, it just creates like that cold girl cheek look, and I love it. So highly recommend these blushes, and I wanted to finish there just because I love supporting other YouTubers that I know really put their heart and soul into products, and I just think Ali has done a great job in her formulations. Can't wait to see what she comes out with next. So that wraps up 2024 best of makeup. Again, it was really hard for me to narrow down these choices. There were lots of other products that I loved this year, but I felt like these were the best of the best I wanted to make sure I mentioned. So I will link everything down below. Click where it says more, then hit more again, and you'll see everything listed there. But stay tuned. I have a best of basically everything else coming up. Skincare, hair care, body care, jewelry, all of that in one video. That's coming up next. Don't miss it. Thank you so much for being here, for watching. I so appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.